Hello,
Hey,
Glenn.
hey,
Good
how's it going?
morning.
We figured it out.
Yeah, that's it. Now it's working.
How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, am I coming through okay?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Excellent. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. We are here in Chile starting our day, starting our Saturday. So I am really full of energy. I'm really excited to have you here today.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it's 10 o'clock here. I'm probably don't have as much energy. I just had a bit of pre-workout that was left over, so hopefully we get through the hour and I don't fall asleep on you.
yeah. I hope to not be like too long with the questions, considering it's like too late
No,
over
no, it's
there.
all good. It's all good.
Nice. Well, firstly, I wanted to thank you for coming to the show,
Yeah, no
and
problems. No problem at all.
to start with the interview, I want you to do a personal introduction. Tell us your name, your nation, and your height and weight.
Yep. So my name's Glenn Hunter from Melbourne, Australia. Currently 120 kilos and 180 centimeters. So
Oh, nice. I thought you were taller.
no, no.
I am 180 centimeters as well.
Okay. Yeah. So pretty average, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Then I want you to tell us like your barbell lifts, the squat, bench, deadlift,
Oh,
so
okay.
people can
So,
figure out how strong you are in
yeah.
powerlifting standard.
I don't really have a strength background. I've done like the basics. I've done like 100 kilo bench, 150 kilo squat, 200 kilo deadlift. That's it. Um, But yeah, maybe we'll get into that a bit later. But yeah, I don't come from a strength background or a weightlifting or powerlifting background.
But you did you do any sports before Gripsport?
Oh well, yeah, like a golf. I played golf for a long time. So maybe
Okay.
not so much. I
And
probably didn't get a
are
lot of
you
strength from golf.
still are are you still playing golf?
No, no. I probably stopped about 5, 6 years ago playing golf. Um, and then as well as like I played guitar and golf. They were my two hobbies, and I don't do either of those anymore. So um, like maybe a little bit, like maybe my fingers are conditioned because of the guitar, but like yeah. So I pretty much started from scratch when I found grip.
Nice. Did you play like electric guitar?
Yeah, a bit everything, a bit of like fingerstyle, classical metal, a bit of everything. Um, but
That's pretty.
I like the fingerstyle most.
That's pretty nice. I play the guitar too. I
Oh,
love
awesome.
electric guitar actually.
Yeah. Are you
I'm
like
really like into.
are you
I'm into
a,
heavy metal, so
a
I
shredder?
like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
shredding style.
Awesome.
I'm
Awesome.
pretty sure that gives you a good background on finger strength. So that's really interesting.
I mean, there might be some translation there. Like maybe I've got like individual finger control or something like that carries over to grip.
For sure. Yes. Jumping into grip sport, could you tell us your best thick bar record? It could be like inch dumbbell or rolling handle implement.
Yeah. So on the crusher, I'm at about 80 kilos. Um, it's probably like my weakest of all the different types of grip. Probably the thick bar stuff. I'm not the best at. Um, so yeah, Crusher, and they're all fairly similar, like Crusher, Rolling Thunder, Trilobite. Um, sorry, just looking over at my grip wall. Rolling, a couple of the Australian handles, they all sit around about 80 kilos.
Okay, and are they like the same thickness, like 60 millimeters?
Yeah, well, a little variation, like from 2 inches up to about 2.5. So,
Okay,
actually, mostly like the Rolling Thunder thickness, like the 2 and 3/8.
yes, like the inch dumbbell.
Yeah.
And what about pinch? Which is your best pinch?
Um, do we count key pinch?
Sure.
Yeah, well then, yeah, finish ball is probably my best pinch. Um, got about 40 kilos on the finish ball at the moment, so
Oh, that's really great.
yeah, I like that's what my favorite, probably my favorite implement is just finish ball. Um, but if you look at
Nice.
that, like the other type of pinch, like like your Saxon or pinch block, flask, that's around 40 kilos too. I think I got 44 on the flask.
Whoa, that's nice. And are you able to pinch two 45 pounds plates? Have you tried that feat?
Mm. Oh, I did it once ages ago, and the plates were very worn. Like there was a lot of really good friction on them.
Okay.
I tried it recently on some new plates, and it was just really hard. So probably something to work on.
Yeah, it's a really good fit to work on. And well, new plates are really slick, so
Yeah,
it's a
there were a
hard
lot
one.
of the rogue plates, not the coloured ones, just like their normal, not the calibrated ones. You know the ones I'm talking about, like it's
Yes.
not deep dish. Yeah, whatever they're called. But yeah, it was really slick, so not happening. I know do you know the other Glenn in Melbourne, Glenn Crutley?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can pinch them pretty easily, and I think he's even can do the 20 and 25 together kilograms.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, he's got an awesome
And
pinch.
what about grippers? Which is your best gripper close?
Oh man, I I don't do grippers.
And, have you
I've
ever
done
or never into grippers?
like I haven't trained them in ages. I've done
Understand.
a 2.5 on the Captain's of Crush.
Okay.
Um, what's the GHP 6 is sort of the level I got to. But I don't know, man. It's just not something that interested me. Like that's how I was introduced to grip. Like a lot of people, they get introduced through grippers. And then when I started discovering all the other implements, I sort of pushed grippers off to the side. But I was watching your interview with Simon and Tim, and I'm like rethinking that. Should I get the grippers out? You know, should I aim for some bigger closes?
Yeah, that's actually really interesting because Tim is not currently into grippers. He's mainly doing inch dumbbell and blobs.
Yeah,
And Simon, he's like mainly into grippers, and then he does the inch dumbbell and other stuff.
yeah, yeah,
But their approaches are really like different. Tim does grip sport like between his bodybuilding routine, and Simon does the grip sport like his main workout. It's like on a specialist approach.
yeah.
And
Did you see he? I think it was either today or yesterday. He closed the four that he has. I think.
yeah, it was really like he told me in the interview that that was like his lifetime goal to close
Yeah,
the number four.
yeah. It was a huge close.
It's
It
a
was, and like
huge
the idea of doing a big close is really cool. Like I'd love to do the number three, but it's. I think it's the training that doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, it's a really like it could be really frustrating. I am doing a lot of grippers
Yeah,
myself, and it's really like sensitive with your CNS. So
yeah.
if you have like a busy life, you're working hard or studying, or if you have a family, you can get tired of that, and then grippers will get fucked. And that thing doesn't happen with thick bar or pinch. You can rely on some other things, and
Yeah, I think you
you
can.
can have a like a shitty day and lift big weight on those implements.
Yeah, I think you can bounce back pretty quickly on, just in general, like with all grip, but um, with the grippers, yeah, it can really tax your hand.
Exactly. And my next question was, how did you find out about Gripsport? Who introduced you to this beautiful world?
Yeah, so just by chance, I was on YouTube, just looking around, and I saw Juji Mufu.
Of course.
He used to, collaborate with people, invite them to his gym, and they do the grip wall stuff, the grip gauntlet.
And
And I was watching it, and I thought, okay, that looks interesting. I bought a 0.5 gripper from a
okay.
store in Australia, and I moved it a millimeter. I couldn't budge it, and that was it. I was just obsessed from that point. I think straight away I went back and bought like the lower grippers, the G and the S and the T,
Okay.
to work up to that, and then like it's a pretty small close, 0.5, but it was big for me to get. And then when I got that, I branched out a bit, and then like when you discover like Rolling Thunder, Hub, Pinch Block, like Little Bighorn, and then when you branched out again from Iron Mine to the other brands, I was just obsessed with training and obsessed with collecting too. I don't know if you can
And
just see my like grip ball in the background there.
oh, you have it right there.
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah. So this is I'm sitting on my We work from home quite a bit in Australia. I'm not sure if that's the same in Chile, but I've got my office set up here, and I've got my group gym set up right behind me. So always got quick access to it.
nice. Here in Chile, like, I currently live in an apartment, so I have my setup like for
Yep.
grip. But I have a gym like 2 blocks away from my home, so I go to the gym, and then once I'm warm up, I come back to do the grip lift to my home. When
Yep.
I live like back with my parents, I used to have a home gym set up just like you with my power rack and
Yep.
everything. And yeah, I hope to move to a house soon and have my home gym. I am actually tired about like commercial gyms, so having your setup at home, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And
I mean, especially when all you need is a loading pin, and then like if you're going to a
yeah,
commercial gym to stand in the corner and lift on your loading pin, that's like I don't know. It seems a bit strange. You could just do that at home. So yeah, good luck with the move.
yeah, it's really cool. That's I think I love about Gripsport. You can do it like at your home
Yeah.
whenever you want.
Yeah.
It gives you flexibility, independence. It's really cool. And I heard you mentioned like grip stores in Australia. I want to know, where do you guys collect or buy your grip implements?
Um, like most of it is imported. Um,
Okay.
there is a grip store in Australia called Grip and Lift, and they currently sell most of the Iron Mine stuff. Uh,
Okay.
there is a another company called Stand or Submit, and they deal mostly with strongman stuff, but they do make a few grip implements and custom stuff. Outside of that, everything is just imported from US, UK, Russia. Um, where else? Ukraine. Um, there is a couple. There is a couple of pieces from a brand called Club Strong,
Okay.
which they deal mostly with climbing equipment. But recently, they've made a couple of cool handles, like a version of the Rolling Thunder, and a couple of cool pinch blocks as well. So
Nice. Hey, Joseph commented, how's that grip wall?
yeah,
It's really beautiful, your grip wall. It's
never
really cool.
enough. I'll always be collecting stuff.
Yeah, it's really good to have a grip wall. I have a mini grip wall here in my office as well. It has like the stuff I can't put like
Yeah.
in my living room. So I have like the David Horn. This is the one
Oh yeah.
from China. I don't know if you know it. The bumper. and some grippers that I don't use so much.
Yeah,
You can see there the finish well,
good to see the finish
really cool
right
equipment.
center where it should be.
Yes, it's really good to have to have the ball. Then I wanted to ask you more about the community in Australia. I have seen you guys like I have been following you like from 2018, and I have seen many new gripsters in Australia. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I remember ages ago I followed you. I saw you do it was like a table no set close of a gripper. And that blew my mind.
yes,
Like, what the hell is that? You know, like, how strong is this guy if he's just picking up a grip and closing it? Yeah, that was ages ago. But the community in Australia is it's um, pretty small but pretty active. So we've got a good core group of guys who train all the time. They collect the equipment. They're up for competing or hosting competitions. Um, yeah, so that core group is really active. But I'd still say it's still like like a backyard sport, a garage sport.
yes,
Um, what's cool at the moment is what we've got coming up in August. There's a gym called Ultra Strength and Fitness. They're
okay.
running a comp out of their gym, it's Gripsport International Sanction comp. So that's a cool step forward. I think that's really cool. So I'm going to head up there. It's about 5 hours north of here, and then hopefully some of the other guys can come down from Sydney and Queensland and wherever else. So yeah, that's really cool. That's something I'm looking forward to. That's in August.
Uh, I wanted to mention that you said it's a like small community in Australia, but you're all beasts. It's like there are like 6 or 10 of you, but you're all like world class. It's
Yeah,
like wow.
it's all these climbers who get into grip, and their starting point is at the absolute top. It's Joe and Tom and Ben, and there's a couple of new guys we just met, Will and Isaac, who yeah, they're all climbers, and the starting point is just crazy high. But it's good. It keeps everyone really competitive, and it keeps the interest really high too.
Yeah, the climbing factor, it's like the main explanation, I think. There are many like world champions that come from climbing and their crimping strength is out of this world. Thick bar can be like really, really strong as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if they are good at grippers as well, because that's like something you don't do too much when climbing, like doing like a dynamic crush, I think.
Yeah, I don't know I mean, Joe's watching now. Maybe you could comment what his biggest close is on a gripper, but yeah, I'm not sure how well that translates.
It's a good mystery that I will figure out in the future.
Um, and there is not just climbers. Like Luke Reynolds, strongman, accomplished strongman, went over to the Arnold's and got a podium finish,
Ah,
which is cool.
that man,
So,
look, Blue Mountain
yeah,
Reynolds, right?
that's the guy. Yeah,
I didn't know that he was from Australia. He's really strong.
yeah.
Yeah, I have seen his videos.
They crushed the axle and some huge rolling handle lifts that day. So yeah, that was really cool to see. An Australian flag up on the podium. So um, yeah, we've got like strong people on both ends of the spectrum there. Climbers and strongman. What do we got?
Oh,
I did.
just said I did a Coke CC close about 13 years ago. Wow, Joseph is way more experienced in grip
I'm
than I thought.
Yeah, I'm guessing he means COC 3, number
Number
3. Yeah.
3. Wow, that's really strong, Joseph. Well, I think I saw that you guys had the King Kong recently. Have you been a host of the King Kong, Glenn?
Yeah, so I've done it a couple of times, but where it's just been 2, 3 people in a garage. Um,
Okay.
but last year in 2022, we had two comps. There was a gym in Sydney, and the name escapes me, sorry. So they ran a comp, like an open public comp. And we had more of a private comp in Queensland where we all got together. There was about 10 of us.
Okay.
But yeah, but when I've hosted it in the past, it's just been a couple of guys, me and Glenn and maybe a couple of other, walk-ins. But yeah, that's sort of like the issue with like not having a gym or not having contact in a gym. Like the competition is relying on you bringing someone into your house, so.
And in that occasion, you bring all the equipment, right? Like the official tools and the weight.
Yeah, that would be in the future. That would be sort of the ideal scenario where we can bring all we can provide all the equipment, but we run it out of a gym, somewhere public.
I understand. Right.
We've also done the what have we done? The World Super Series lifts. We've done them out of my garage. Jed Johnson's grip battle, worldwide grip battle, we did that too. But yeah, all pretty small scale.
But you could say that you're small, but you're pretty active. You're taking part on most of the online competitions. That's really fun, really interesting.
Yeah, I guess like when you invest in all the equipment, I sort of maybe there's a bit of a almost a responsibility to do that. You've run comps before? You ran KK recently.
I have never run any competition myself.
Okay.
There's another gripster in Chile. His name is Bruno, and he was the host of the King Kong last year.
Yeah.
It was really a milestone. It was really cool. I couldn't go there and compete.
Oh man.
But I'd love to be the host as well. Even if I start like me and another friend, I don't know. But the Ironman the blockbuster is on their way. Actually, I bought it from a guy from Australia. He's called Bigfoot on the Gripsport, but I don't remember his name. Oh, I can't remember. but I am purchasing equipment as well.
Is it difficult to get the equipment there? Like, is it?
I mean, I think it's like the double for the shipping compared to the rest of the world, because every time when I speak to someone, hey, I want to buy this piece of equipment from you, and it's like if the tool costs $50, the shipping will be 60. Sometimes it's like that.
I can sympathize with you because you probably most things you're looking at either equal cost of the implement or more. Yeah,
exactly, just like that.
I was looking at from Grip Genie. Maybe it was that the eggplant thing they made.
Yes.
Did you see that one? And
it's like a vertical bar. Yeah, I know it.
I was looking at it and it was like maybe 50 US, but the shipping was 100 US. So it sort of instantly ruled it out. No chance.
Yeah, the same thing happens to me with the inch dumbbell. It's really like a legendary implement.
Oh, that's different.
But I think
you should pull. This isn't financial advice, but you should just pull the trigger and get one. You should do it.
You think? Do you have one in your collection?
I've got a 50 and a 70.
Okay.
But there's heaps of inch dumbbells floating around because that we got some from Nathan Holly, a pallet of inch.
Okay.
So
yes.
Oh, and there's also two custom-made ones that were made in Australia. They're 83 kilogram like replicas, but yeah, obviously a bit heavier. And they're called the HK bells. Joe and Glenn made those together. I would say that's like the ultimate challenge bell that's available in Australia.
I love to like find somewhere to build our inch dumbbells in Chile as well, because it's really expensive for me these days to bring an inch.
Yeah.
Actually, like a big step that I could do this year was to bring a York block here to Chile.
Yep.
It's not on its way yet, but my friend, I don't know if he's there, but Fitz of Alex, I don't know if you know him,
Yep.
Alex Guija from New York. He's helping me to bring it here, and I think the inch dumbbell will be something for the future. But I want it. I want
Yeah.
to have one and to
Like
lift
the
one.
locally made one would be cool. You know, it becomes part of the history. It'll be around forever. You
Yes,
know,
that's the thing with iron. It lasts forever.
it's a pretty cool way to generate interest too, because like, you know, you have your competitions on one side, but when you also sort of have a community based around like a feat like that, like, you know, lifting the inch dumbbell, yeah, that's a cool way to generate some interest, and particularly if it's locally made. You know, you'd sort of go down as a bit of a legend if you could lift it.
That's it. I'd like to ask you about your grip goals this year. What do you want to achieve, in 2023?
Um, just a monster fishbowl lift at King Kong, like
Okay,
just hopefully something massive. And then yeah, just get as close as possible to lifting the inch dumbbell, the 78 kilo one. You know, a nice level, you know, good lockout, good strong lockout lift. Um, probably those two. Um, and then not so much feet related, but yeah, like that comp I mentioned earlier in August, just having a really good, you know, like representation there. Um, you know, because it's sort of someone outside of our group who's organised it. Yeah, it'd be cool to just get as many people there as possible to support it, and you know, make it a good event for everyone.
nice. And do you have any like ultimate group goal, like the one you would love to do before you die or before you retire?
Um, Probably the HK dumbbell would be. I think that would be a once in a lifetime lift. Um, what else? I don't know. Maybe a monster axle, like 400 pounds or more.
400, that's a lot.
Yeah. But like, yeah, that's like a lifetime goal. Um,
Which is your best axle lift today, like your PR?
like 150, I think, is the most I've done. Um, at the moment, I'm doing like one axle session a week, and I can get to that point, and that's it. Like, I just can't tip over that 150 mark.
Nice, that's a really good a really good lift. I like it.
Yeah, it's not that.
And
In the grand scheme of the grip world, it's not that huge.
but it's good to have that like milestone. And sometimes I think when with social media, we are like looking at the strong people. So it's like normal for us to see people doing like 180 kilo axle. It's like, oh, I'm really weak
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
But if you go to a regular gym, you're like the strongest grip there. I'm pretty sure about that.
that's true. I think that's like one of the cool things about grip is that those feats, like the high level elite feats, I think they're achievable if you put enough work in. You know,
Yes,
like like only certain things you'll have like a genetic limitation.
yes,
Like the Millennium dumbbell is probably one of those. Like
Yeah, or for example, the credit card set with the number 4. It's
yeah,
like a handful of people can achieve it because of the hand size,
I think
for
I
sure.
think a lot of the other stuff you can get to with enough, specialized work.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And speaking about training, how do you organize your grip training? Do you make your own workout plan or do you have a coach? How does it work for you?
Um, I sort of plan it all myself. At the
Okay.
um, the plan is very loose, but I track it. I track it all,
Okay.
so I can reflect and look at maybe what I think has worked, what hasn't worked, eliminate stuff. So um, yeah, so going forwards, it's pretty loose. I've got about 10 implements I'm working on at the moment. Um, but yeah, looking back, yeah, I look at all that information quite closely.
Okay. And how do you divide like your week? Do you do like a day for thick bar, a day for pinch, or do you mix it up all at once?
Pretty mixed. So I'd keep like axle, thick bar, inch, all separate.
Okay.
Um, and then so I might do, I'll just bring it up. I've got my computer here. So I might do like a bit of crusher, pinch block, um, on one day, napalm nightmare I'm working on at the moment with hub and finish ball, um, inches on a different day with a lot of arm work. And then I've got an axle, sort of like a standalone axle session.
Okay.
I use an axle, and I've got this really cool offset axle, um,
Is that
where you can.
made in Australia?
Yeah, it was made by Stand or Submit. So yeah, I used both of those in the same session.
That
It's really cool, and
sounds like a really interesting implement, like an offset axle. I've
yeah,
never heard of that before.
generates so much like rotational force,
Yeah, I can
and
imagine.
you can, yeah, it's got like all like four positions really, like up, forward, back, down. Um, but yeah, you can load up your thumbs a lot. So I'm finding it pretty useful. I think offset weight is a bit of maybe a bit of a hidden secret of grip training. Um,
Okay.
yeah, just you know what? Let's erase the last couple of minutes of this conversation because just giving away all the secrets. But yeah, so I split. Going back to the training question, I just sort of, I might do a couple of implements a day across the week, but not so much overlap on the types of grip, I guess. Um, and then because I don't do grippers, that's not something I have to worry about. I think you said you were doing a lot of grippers every day at the start of your session.
Actually, I start every workout of the week with grippers.
Okay.
Yes, every session.
Sort of
And
like,
after the grippers, I can do like pinch, thick bar, or vertical bar.
yeah,
Those are like in line with the competitions that I may go into.
yeah,
I may go into skillet hands. That's an American competition, like a small one, but it's
yeah.
online as well. And I may go to King Kong, but I don't know because I will get married in September. So my focus is on getting married and the party and the wedding, everything. So it's like right next to King Kong, and my focus will be somewhere else,
Yeah.
the honeymoon. So I'm not sure if I'm going to compete, but
What?
if everything works out, we will see.
Congratulations. Firstly, congratulations on getting married. But could you
Thank you, Glenn.
do your honeymoon somewhere where there's like a King Kong venue? Come,
We're actually planning to go to Mexico, and I think the sport's not really developed there yet. So
come to
I think
Melbourne.
it will not work this time, but we will see how to do it. So yeah, I am doing grippers every day.
Yeah. What sort of rep
Um,
range are you working in for? If you're doing it every day?
Actually, that's one of my coach secret that I will reveal. My coach is Sam Solomi, Fat Muscle Coaching. I don't know if you have followed. Well, he's my coach. It's a really good coach, by the way,
Oh,
and the approach that he has with me. Uh, I wanted to mention as well that he's the coach of Tiziano Vecchio. Do you know him from Italy? The the guy that closed the number four are really big grippers.
yeah. I only like recently became familiar with his stuff. Yeah. I,
Well,
I'm
he's monstrous with the grippers,
yeah
and the method is
a
like
monster.
you.
You know, I was going like the other day after I watched the interviews. Even though it wasn't in English, I still sort of went and checked out his stuff. But yeah, he's got just a monster crush.
Yes, he's really big on grip lifts. The method is like you warm up until like your, let's say, 90% of your max, and then with that 90% you do an AMRAP as many reps as possible, like to failure, and then you can do like one or two back offsets near to your, I think, 80%,
Yep.
and that's it. Like high frequency, high intensity, but not high volume. That's like the main approach. At first, I was like a little worried to do it. Like, whoa, so many grippers in the week, and maybe I could get injured. And no, I only got adapted to hit my grip more often, and I was like with a better condition in my hands and better for competition. I am like ready to pick. Like if I have a competition in a month, I am almost ready to pick and to PR, and that's really good. I really like it, and it's fun for me to hit grippers every day.
Yep.
But if you mix it with your daily life and responsibilities, sometimes you are not like as ready as you would like to. It happens to me like 3 weeks ago. I had like the flu,
Yep.
and I had to stop training like for 3 days. And all the performance that I used to have, I was like closing a number three for 20 reps, and then my performance went down like from 152-pound gripper to 139,
Yep.
and then I had to climb back again, like really slowly to catch the pace that I used to have. But yeah, that's life and that's sport.
Yep.
You have up and downs.
That's really interesting. So is it like it's more, is it more like you're constantly trying to raise the baseline of your strength baseline, or? Yep.
Exactly, just like that. For example, in 1 year ago, I could close the 139 number three, my lightest
Yep.
COC3, and I could close it like 3 times, 4 times. Uh, and in January, I could close that same river 40 times. 40.
4-0.
Yes,
Oh wow.
40 times. And I must mention that it was like with the deep set, like really deep set and
Yep.
clicks.
Yep.
But anyway, the baseline is going up, and it's a really good approach. I highly recommend like to do or at least to try high frequency in grippers. I
Yeah.
have seen really advanced people like in strength sports that does the grippers once a week, and they are really good, and they can progress like to close the number four with that method. I think everyone has to search for what works for them. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
Well, that's I guess something that's great about grip is that there's no set way to progress. I think it's based on the individual, and also with like the balance between the implements. I know it was something you guys mentioned in the other interviews where but like overlapping with the training. Yeah, I think that is going to vary from person to person. Where maybe someone can do crush and thick bar and whatever else in the same session, or grippers and whatever hub and stuff like that. So I think it's one of the appeals is it's like a really individual sport.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah, actually, I really like it. That in Gripsport, it's like not so much information written online, so it's like an open book. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
you can try many things, many new strategies.
yeah. That's pretty much how most of the Aussie guys connected at the start, because we were trying to get information around training, because we just for the first time we got the finish ball in Australia, and we're trying to
Okay.
figure out how to lift it, what's a good weight, what's the best way to work it, prepare the surface, all that sort of stuff. So we just sort of connected in a group chat trying to figure all that out, because it's not like there's a proven finish ball training program out there that we can just go buy.
And what did you do to improve your finish ball? Which was your strategy?
Just get it in your hands and just always have it in your hands. Just holds, reps, max out, chuck it under some resistance bands, all sorts of stuff.
Nice.
And
So trying a lot of things.
yeah, yeah, lots of volume, I guess.
Nice. I think that's the key with the finish ball. A strategy that served me to progress with the finish ball, like from 25 kilo to 32, that's my max, was volume, doing some AMRAPs, and building like a rep base, and then hitting the big
Yeah,
numbers.
I think also like intensity too.
Yes.
If you're doing a certain percentage below your max, still bring the intensity. Still treat it like a huge, 1 rep max.
Yes.
Because you can get caught up a bit going through, if you're going to do a whatever 10 times 10, 5 times 5, whatever. If you're going to go, if that's what on your program, you can get caught up just going through the motions of just, this is easy. I'll just, do my 5 times 5, tick it off, and move on. But yeah, definitely like bring big energy, big intensity to training, something like that. Even though it's so sub-maximal, it's like, like most average people could lift up with one hand, 150 kilos, something like that. Like, and a good finish ball lift is 30, 40 kilos.
Yeah.
You don't need, like most people wouldn't tense up and treat it like a huge, strength feat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand. People, I think people can like
And
have a notion of how hard it is just when you touch the implement and when
yeah,
you try to lift it.
and that,
Before that, it's like, oh, that's a tiny ball. It must be easy. Not
yeah,
interesting.
and like even the lifts that sort of sit under the finish ball, like do you know the Pluto?
I am aware that you have like the world record, right, in one of those tiny implements. The
Oh,
Pluto is from Jokabook, right?
the Pluto is from Jockabug, yeah.
Yeah, and you have the world record in one of the Gods of Grip
Lots of, yeah,
implements.
it's called the imposter nipple.
That
But
one, I
all
remember.
those little like think lifts definitely bring huge intensity when you're trying to do a big single. Treat it like a 500 kilo deadlift.
Yeah, that's a good approach. Yes, I have some of those like tiny implements, but actually the only like tiny that I'm using it's the finish ball
Yeah.
because it is into the competition. But for example, I have the Dub Cube. I don't know if you know that one. It's from I will bring it. That one is from Canada, and it has like three like key pinches in one,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
like the stud, the Canadian penny, and I don't remember this one, but
It's
the
cool.
idea is that you can choose which one is the top.
Yeah.
Right now it's the coin, and now it's like the stud, and you can fix it, and it has like the system of the barrel or FBBC pins that you can use this thing. I don't know how to say it, but this one it's like yeah, I have the three famous ones,
Yeah.
but I never use it
That's
actually. I'd
cool.
love to
I have,
give a more emphasis to that, but it's a really cool implement.
yeah. What's it? Where's that from? I haven't seen it before.
This one is from uh, Grip and Lift Canada. I don't
Oh, is
remember
it?
quite well, but I can send it to you in via like a direct
Yeah.
message.
Yeah. Cool.
It's a really old implement, and its name is the Zoom Cube. I think it
Okay.
can be seen right
Oh,
there,
that's cool.
but it's the Zoom Cube. Really a classic.
Yeah.
I knew it like in 2017 because of Jerome Bloom.
Yeah.
He's really into keep pinching, so
Oh,
it was
he's
like,
the.
oh, I have to have the same tool.
I've actually got one of his implements. The Mobius that's a cool one.
Yeah, I saw that he made like a couple of implements himself. It's like a plastic piece or a metal piece.
So I've got a plastic one.
Okay.
3D printed. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's like I was pretty interested in that because if you could 3D print something, it's cheap. It's easy to ship. So
Yeah.
that was part of it that interested me. But yeah, like it's a really cool implement on its own anyway. It's like a pinch, but you can't quite set your fingers because it's got a twist in it. So um, I'll post a video actually. I haven't done a big session with it yet, but I'll post some videos.
How much can you lift with the Mobius?
I think we did 34 kilos.
Okay, but it's pretty similar to a finish ball, like kilograms,
Yeah,
so to speak.
roughly.
So you maybe could climb to 40 eventually.
Sorry?
You maybe can go to 40 kilos in the future with the Mobius, right?
Who knows what the limit is? I'm sure Jerome will just smash it anyway if I posted it. He would.
Yeah, he's really specialist of the key pinch.
50 or something.
Maybe. Coming back with the question that I have, I wanted to know if you mix like the general physical preparation with your grip sessions. I don't know if you mix with squats or push-ups with your grip training.
I mean, it would be at the absolute basic level. So pretty much everything has grip integrated into it some way.
Okay.
Probably only stuff that doesn't would be like trap bar deadlifts, and like core work, planking, arm work, but that's still grip related.
Okay.
Like it's purely grip stuff. Like my
I
deadlifts
understand.
are axle deadlifts, so yeah. I know that's really different to the last couple of guys you had on, but yeah, it's just
But that's
it's just
but that's the fun thing of the different interviews. I want to have people that thinks differently, that approaches the training differently
yeah.
from different countries. I haven't repeated any country yet, and I don't pretend to. Actually, my next guest is from Puerto Rico in Latin America, the first Latin American to certify on the number 3.
Puerto Rican gripsters, you're testing my knowledge here.
Puerto Rico is in the center of America,
Yeah, but
like between the US and
who's
Brazil,
the grip
so to speak.
Puerto Rico?
I think not so much, because the first Puerto Rican into grip that I met, they live in the US.
Okay.
So I think they knew about, or they find out about the grip sport in the US.
Yeah.
But I will figure it out in the next interview. Glenn,
Awesome.
I wanted to ask you, which is your favorite grip tool?
I mean, that's a big question. So I'll go top 5.
Okay,
Finish ball.
which is it?
Finish ball, because I love training finish ball. There's like do you know the bear grips from Russia, the bear paw?
Yes, I know they have like a rolling handle, a vertical bar, a hub. I have seen a couple of them. Yep.
The stainless steel rolling handle is just it's just like a piece of art. I love it.
It's a beautiful one.
Probably
Yes.
from there, I'm gonna say that I think the Napalm Nightmare is just another fun implement to use. I've got like the rolling handle and the pinch blocks. Yeah, and I've been training it a bit more lately for a comp that's coming up, and yeah, it's heaps of fun. And it doesn't shred your hands too much.
Nice.
Another one, Joe Hodgson, maybe a replica of a penny pinch, and that's another favorite. That's really cool. And then probably I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say that the John Ocker Pluto is another favorite. That's another piece of art. If you ever get a chance to grab something from John, I'd recommend it, because it's cool. It's personalized. His stuff is really cool.
Yeah, I think someday I would love to ask him for Dini rings, like for the Dini stone lift.
Yeah.
Those would be really good. And I have seen his post, and he's like a wonderful constructor, welder. It's really good.
Yeah, and he's like a collector too. He's got crazy amount of plates and blobs and dumbbells and stones and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Actually, speaking about John, I remember that he has many blobs. And there's a friend from Mexico that wanted to ask you a question. And the question is, are blobs useful? And I wanted to know as well if you have tried blobs, and what's your opinion on that matter?
No, I haven't. Like, we don't have a lot available. I think I've tried Joe again had one made. It was really difficult. I could barely pick it up with 2 hands. But I think there's a couple coming over from Nathan Holly, his 24 kilo and 30 kilo versions. So hopefully at some point, yeah, I'll get a chance to try those out.
Do you live near to him, or it's like far away?
No, we're about 10 hours away.
Far away.
So
that's really far away.
10-hour drive, yeah. But in terms of it being useful, I'd say, yeah, sure. Like wide pinch is going to be useful. Cross, like, you're going to encounter it at some point if you're training grip and competing. So, I mean, especially in America, because they got so many blobs available, and I think they do blob medley. I see those, the blob medleys. So, Um, in Australia, you're not.
Develops are really common in the US. Exactly. Yeah. Then I wanted to ask you about grip injuries. Did you have any injury related to grip?
Touch wood, I've never really had an injury. It's mostly skin on my thumb is probably the worst injury I'm going to get. But yeah, I've just been just lucky, I guess. Yeah, I don't do any. Again, I don't do any like big weightlifting lifts like squats, deadlifts, or anything like that. So that could be part of it, but I guess yeah, luck's going to play a part as well.
Yes, it's a thing of luck, and also like to have some precautions to not get injured. I think.
I mean, so
Yeah,
like I wouldn't do anything stupid in the gym. I wouldn't, walk in and do an inch lift off a 20-inch deficit without warming up. I would.
yeah. The warm ups are really important to have a good performance.
But,
They are
so
key,
yeah,
actually.
being prepared is part of it, and luck, and then type of exercise is the other part. So yeah, I've been lucky. Like all I've got now is a bit of torn skin on my thumb, but that's it. I'll persevere and beat that.
Nice. And I wanted to ask you, as a final question, which will be your advice for someone who is starting in Gripsport? Where to start, what to do, which implements to buy? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say that. So as a starting point, I would say that you can train grip without going out and buying, 10 pinch blocks, 20 rolling here. You don't need all of the equipment to train grip. Every gym has plates. You can start with plate pinching. You can use a gym towel to make things more difficult. Even dead hangs are awesome. But there, once you do get into the Gripsport side of things, I would just the one piece of equipment I would say to get is a wrist wrench, and build that monster thumb, because then like the carry over to the rest of the implements is there. So I would start with a wrist wrench for sure. If I could, start from the start again, definitely a wrist wrench.
Really nice piece of advice. So, Glenn, I wanted to thank you for joining me today on the interview. It was actually really fun to talk with you, and I think we spoke about a really good pieces of advice in terms of training and equipment. It was really fun.
I'm always happy to talk grip. I think this is awesome what you're doing. Getting everyone to connect. Like I hope it sort of builds into something a bit bigger, and I'd love to see like maybe before King Kong or something, maybe we do a live with a few different promoters or something like that, and get their thoughts before the comp goes ahead.
Yes, I will keep going with the project, and I am really thankful for your words and your thoughts. It's really good to know that connecting people is a really valuable thing.
Yeah.
And I really like it. And my main mission is to bring everything to like the Spanish community.
Yeah.
I hope to get like subtitles to this interview so people in Chile can understand what we are speaking. And it's really fun. And I hope we can do an interview again and keep sharing. It was really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure, man. I'm happy to chat group anytime.
Nice, Glenn. So, have a great night there in Australia.
Yep.
And we will see each other soon. Goodbye, my friend.
Have a great day. See you later.